Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to go through my experience and tips after using macOS for the first time, coming from a lifelong Windows user. Why did I switch over to Mac? I needed space on my desk, and the form factor of the M2 Mac Mini was perfect. Apple devices and value for money is rarely associated together, but that has changed since Apple came up with their own silicon chips. It's astonishing what performance they can provide at this price point. You can pair your Mac to most Bluetooth keyboards, but getting a Mac-compatible keyboard will make the switch from Windows to Mac much easier, as the Command and Option keys are labeled. Starting off, I paired my Mac Mini with Logitech's MX keys. I use my computer primarily for Microsoft applications and web browsing, and the shortcuts I commonly use are: most applications follow the shortcuts, except when it comes to folders. To cut and paste folders on Mac, first, you need to press Command+C, then at the new location, you need to press Option plus Command+V. They are very similar, and basically, you will need to retrain the muscle memory from pressing the Control key to the Command key. Maybe you will think that you can also interchange the Control and Command keys in the settings, and Mac will work just like Windows. I went through that, and let's talk about my experience after modifying the keys. By clicking the Apple icon, System Settings, and in the search bar, search for Customize Modifier Keys. Here, I reassigned the Control to Command and Command to Control, and kept them in this setting.
2 weeks later.
The issue with modifying keys appears when I'm using the Switch app shortcut, as the finger positions are actually identical for both Windows and Mac in their default settings. Since the keys have been modified, I will need to use the new combination. And after 2 weeks of use, my fingers' muscle memory was still not yet accustomed to it. I tried to tweak the settings that could change this particular shortcut, but couldn't find any. So please let me know if you do. I actually prefer the alternate plus tab finger placement in default Windows on Mac style. So I reverted my keyboard to their default settings. Another shortcut key I use frequently is the Close Applications shortcut. With Windows, you press alternate with function key F4, while on Mac, you press Option and Command with W. Something different on Mac is that the application is still sort of open in the dock area, and you will need to press Command plus Q to fully quit the application. Since the Option, Command, and alternate keys are at the same area on a Windows or Mac keyboard, only slight adjustments are needed. I was getting used to Mac until I started using Microsoft applications. I was still adapting to the new shortcut keys when I found something interesting. Even when all the keyboard are in their default settings, I'm able to use both the Microsoft and Mac shortcuts. Meaning that, to cut a sentence of text, I can press either Ctrl and X or Command and X. Does this mean that I can use all my Windows shortcuts on Mac? I tried all the basic shortcuts we mentioned in the earlier part of the video, and they work as intended until we got to I use the zoom function frequently as well to quickly change the magnification of the text or the folder icons, and this is where it gets interesting. On most applications on Windows, pressing the Ctrl with scroll wheel will activate the zoom in or zoom out function. Alternatively, you can also use Ctrl with the plus or minus sign. The issue for most applications on Mac is that the combination of Ctrl with scroll wheel does nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're only left with the option of using Ctrl with plus or minus sign. This is a big inconvenience in my opinion, as the majority uses a mouse with the computer. Seeing that the shortcut of Ctrl with scroll wheel does nothing on a Mac, why not add in that feature so that it will make the switch from Windows to Mac much easier? But this is where it gets complicated. Using Microsoft applications on Mac, Control with Scroll Wheel does the exact same function as on Windows, where I can zoom in or zoom out. However, remember using the command with plus or minus sign on other apps on Mac lets you zoom in or out. Doing that in Microsoft applications does not let you zoom in or out. After using Mac, I found out that there are two types of zoom. The in-app zoom, like what we experience in Windows, and the whole screen zoom, where literally you can zoom in or out of the whole screen by pressing the command with scroll wheel. The zoom will go towards where your cursor is at the point when the keys are pressed. The zoom function is slightly different on both systems, but because I'm used to using a mouse with my computers, I would say that the zoom function on Windows, pressing the control key with scroll wheel, is slightly better than the additional whole window zoom on Mac. That is all about the commonly used shortcuts, and I will go through the useful system settings after my experience. After finding the different settings that can be tweaked to make navigating through Mac easier, I've come up with the 7 best settings to change. First one is Control plus Command plus T, where we can pin the folder you frequently use to the sidebar and give you easy access to the folder. To remove the pinned folder, you will just need to right-click and choose Remove from Sidebar. Second one is Option plus Command plus P. This shows the path bar in Mac's Finder windows and works similarly to the file destination path on Windows. Third one is, in Mac's Finder windows, pressing down Command while double-clicking a folder will open the folder in a new tab, so you get 2 open folders. This is good if you want to open many subfolders from a single one. A tip: when at the folder header, click the scroll button on the mouse and you can close the folder. Fourth one, in Mac's Finder windows, I would recommend setting the view to as columns so that the whole path directory is shown. Fifth one, click the Apple icon, go to System Settings, then Mouse, and choose if you want natural scrolling or not. This is particularly useful coming from Windows, as I prefer the Windows way of scrolling. 6.1. In Finder, click on a document. At the Action tab, click Show View Options. Tick Show Preview column to have more info on the file, like what you would do in Windows. Last but not least, for productivity, can we have 2 windows side by side with shortcuts like on Windows? For Mac, it is possible, but it will require slightly more mouse work. In the file, go to the top left-hand side full screen green button, but do not press it. Hover over it and press the Option key. About half a second later, there will be a drop-down list that enables the selection of Move Windows to the left side of screen or Move Windows to right side of screen. I am only recording the left side of my screen here. This is not a setting you can change, but I feel it is good to highlight this feature. These are the system settings I find the most useful when switching over to Mac from Windows. All in all, transitioning from Windows to Mac can be a bit daunting, but it is actually pretty easy. It can also be an exciting and rewarding experience, as Macs offer a unique and user-friendly interface, a wide range of powerful applications, and a seamless integration with other Apple devices. That's all I have to share, and please like and subscribe if you find this video useful.